Hello. I have an announcement. I'm gonna make my first read along, and that's a risk because this channel is very small, and I don't even know how many of the people that follows me is actually following me. But I really wanna read Master and Man again from Tolstoy, because I feel like it's the only time that I felt truly ambiguous about a story from Tolstoy. Generally, I either really dislike him or really like him. I mean, in terms of his literary quality, like him as a person, I did not particularly like. But when I read a book from him, I'm always like, this is amazing, or this is not at all what people tells me it is. In Master and Man was a very cool short story that I read in George Sanders' Assuming a Poem on the Rain, and there was an exercise at the end, which was rewrite your own ending, because his ending had some weaknesses that we'll get to that when we are finally on the last chapter. This is a 50-60 pages story. I don't know how long it will take me to go through it. I'll try to get through the first few chapters today or within the next few days. But this exercise of doing the read along, it's what I'm trying to make it be a blend between authortube and booktube, because my idea is to read the whole story and then read Tolstoy's ending and then read my alternative ending, and then maybe if anyone has bear with me all the way to the end, or someone already knows the story, they can tell me which one they like more. I was very happy with my ending, but of course I am not Tolstoy, so that might not be enough to improve even his worst. We'll see. However, I'm very excited about this. It's also like I'm not very used to rereading fiction. I've seen the books I've reread the most, novels I've read the most tag going around, and I've just not participated, because the only novel I think I've reread is Dune, and then everything else I've reread is philosophy. It's things like Adorno, Nietzsche, Kant, Heidegger, Merleau-Ponty, Deleuze. None of those authors wrote anything that someone would read for pure entertainment, but rather because it is necessary to do that in order to understand them. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna reread this short story. I also reread, in terms of short stories, I reread fictions more than twice from Borges. So that's also an example of something I reread. But yeah, this is gonna be very different because I'm gonna be rereading it out loud, and I know for a fact that reading aloud something is an incredible way to get into understand it way more deeply and in a completely different way. Like with poetry, I do that all the time. I pretty much came into reading properly through reading aloud poetry. So I mean, it's gonna be hard because I'm not an English speaker. At least it's not my first. What I mean is, it's not my first tongue, my first language. So yeah, I mean, like I'll struggle reading through this, and you'll struggle listening if you are listening. But the story is good, so maybe that will make up for everything. As I said, I'm just gonna go chapter by chapter. It's gonna be short videos. I don't know how long it will take me to read each chapter. I hope not more than 10 minutes. And when we get to the end, then I'll give my own ending as well. So there is something else than just Tolstoy there. I'm very excited. I hope someone follows.